going to win that trade. But
there we go.
Think about the Cowboys and how they manage their contracts.
There we go.
Games,
there we go. There we go, yo. There we go. Okay.
Seem to be, as Dominique has said many times, programming a reality show.
Make sure that that's trending the right.
Okay. Boy, we just got all kinds of problems.
For training camp, where all eyes will be.
Now you got it. Now you got it. Now you got it.
Full go for camp after missing 9 games with a hamstring injury last season.
Yes. Okay. We're good now, right? Sound?
Growing the connection with his
brother, can you hear me?
Duo. Listen to what he had.
Brother, can you see me?
To be the guy that gets to get them the ball, it's exciting as hell because you can turn on the OTA tapes and one of the guys, the ball's in the air and the other one's got his hands up celebrating already.
Yes.
We just got to continue to grow that and continue to make sure that that's trending the right way.
Still has CeeDee Lamb, and they got George Pickens from the all-in Steelers. Are you more optimistic or skeptical about how this is going to work?
First of all, Dak can pull off a bucket hat. Very few people can.
Okay.
I am pessimistic for a couple reasons. On the field,
because I'm looking for views.
George Pickens, you look at his numbers as far as stretching the field, vertical routes. He's one of the 3 best in the league since he entered into this league with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, by the way, had quarterback issues. Off the field, that's where I have concerns. Number one, if Mike Tomlin offers you a skill guy in a trade, hang up the phone, block his number, never talk to him again, because he's usually going to win that trade. But then think about the Cowboys and how they manage their contracts, how they play games, how they play out the string and seem to be, as Dominique has said many times, programming a reality show with how they deal with contracts. George Pickens is entering the last year of his deal. He's going to want to get paid. He's going to want to have the ball in his hands. This has the potential for off-season fireworks a lot.
A lot of offseason fireworks. You said quarterback issues, and that was a very subtle move by you, Kevin. He has had terrible quarterback play in Pittsburgh over the course of his career.
Just
he has
terrible.
The lowest expected catch rate per the NFL's Next Gen Stats, which has been around for almost a decade, of any quarterback or any receiver over the last 3 years. And he has the 6th highest catch rate over expectation. He has been doing more than other wide receivers would do in those same situations. And it is a bad contract spot. But for me, this is not about re-signing with the Cowboys. This is about signing elsewhere for George Pickens. This is an audition. If there's ever a reason for him to be on his best behavior in a pass-happy offense, would it not be this year with the Cowboys?
He'll get right on that.
What do you think, Neek?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dak's been awesome when he's coming off of injuries, and I think we underappreciate how good a quarterback he's capable of being, particularly when you give him talent on the outside, which he's going to have this year. And I think Kevin's probably right. It does spell trouble for potential off-season issues, but we ain't at the off-season yet. We're talking about the regular season, and I think the off-season gets a lot easier if the regular season goes well. It's an uphill battle.
That's right.
That division is tough and getting tougher with the emergence of the Washington Commanders, but I think Dak that talent on the edge, with him having the freedom of some health and a new head coach, I think it becomes more Dak's team, and he puts up big numbers, and the receivers, both of them, are happy.
You mentioned Dak does win big when he's coming off injury. After missing the final 11 games in 2020, he went 11-5 the following year, and then after missing the final 5 games in 2022, he won 12 games and threw 36 touchdowns the next year. So if the pattern holds, Kevin, Dak should have a monster year, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, if he's healthy. But that's true of a lot of guys.
If he's healthy, are they good enough on offense for him to have to add to this kind of chart?
Yeah, this kind of chart. I just don't see a ceiling as a team that's significantly higher than that.
Hater.
The 3rd best team in this division. I don't see any way they close the gap, not only with the Eagles, but with the Commanders. That's just a more talented roster in Washington.
Oh, my God.
So
Seriously?
I think Dak's going to have a vintage Dak year, and it might not matter. That's the unfortunate thing for the Cowboys right now.
Maybe stretched a little bit as a head coach in Chicago.
They just gave me an idea for my next video.
In Indianapolis. My concern, of course, is Dak staying healthy. That offensive line was inconsistent last year. I know they added another first-round pick to that mix. That offensive line is going to decide how the Cowboys' offense goes, how that team goes. Most often, when they're good, their offensive line is good.
Yeah, the offensive line made up almost exclusively of dudes named Tyler. Nick, what do you think about the Cowboys this year with Dak back healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the major issues last year you alluded to was like how bad the defense was, and frankly,
the defense, the offensive line, the wide receivers.
Like, it's impossible to be worse than they were last year, particularly at stopping the run.
All right, that's
an improvement on the defense is inevitable, and that gives them a lot more room to work. And of course, Michael Parsons,
where the hell's my
he's going to get his contract.
There we go. Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course, my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and Buc-ee's. That's right. We got Buc-ee's here in VA. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and give us a thumbs up here. But we got to deal with some shit right now, okay? We got some shit we got to deal with, okay? And I hate when we get into these ass situations, okay? You know, it's really nothing worse than dealing with crusty ass. See, you see how, oh, he's got to leave now. Look, you see that? Oh, I just got him on black. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be right back. I got to leave right now. See how them Commander fans are? Oh, there's no rivalry. We're superior. We're superior to y'all. You know, y'all just. I'm always dealing with some shit. Okay? All right. All right. So, first of all, I mean, no disrespect to anybody, okay? We're in the weeds here, okay? We are in no man's land. We are literally in a desert of lack of information. This has been the driest off season that I can ever remember, okay? Typically, Thomas Garrett. Before I get into it, let me say hello to all the lovely ladies, especially Holly Pierce. And see, you look. You better not say nothing bad about Miss Holly, okay? See, I'm a pit bull. I'm a pit bull when it comes to Miss Holly, okay? Dirty Sanchez, Momo could braid that hair back there, and it would help them. Oh, come on, Dirty. They appreciate the super chats. But Lady Libra in the house. What's up, Lady Libra? We got Roland's review. What's up, Roland? And let's see. I see Marcus Blackman. I see Philadelphia. Dirty Sanchez. Retro Game Grubbin Cowboys. Change the name up. Lady Libra. Did I get all the ladies? Let's see. Jimbo's in the house. Lovely Linda. Shout out to Linda. What's going on, Linda? How are you doing? Tony Cowboy Show. What's going on? Alan Williams, of course, is here. Logan Motorsports, shout out to him. Yeah, I got an update on the computer system and everything else, and so it messed with my software in here, and I'm sorry. Papa Savage, what's going on? So listen, Holly's my best buddy. Holly always sends me an email to say, I'm just checking on you and Miss Tracy to make sure you guys are okay. Holly sometimes doesn't sleep late. I mean, is awake in the middle of the night, and she'll send me an email with something I might have missed. So when somebody says something bad, Cookie Besties, what's going on? How are you doing? I'm not sure. The profile picture is so small. If you're a lady, shout out to you. I can't tell. Cookie Besties. Okay. But Momo, Papa Savage, welcome. We got a new channel member. Ding, 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 ding. Email me, cowboysmark94@gmail, so we can get you your shot glass and your squeeze star, because you need to drink and you need to get rid of some stress when you're a Cowboy fan. So Momo called and he's like, man, I don't know, man. He's like, the chat and everything on Game Time's just getting crazy and stuff. And they said Drew went after Miss Holly and everything else and disrespected us. Oh, I said, whoa. I said, whoa. I said, they did what? I said, who? Oh, I said, oh no. I said, you don't mess with my girl, Miss Holly. That's fighting word. That's fighting words. And so I did a video, and what I was trying to say is, listen, there is so much shit going on in the world. The world is a different place than I grew up in. The world I grew up in was, kids, go outside and we'll see you when the lights come on. Okay? There were no cell phone, no pagers. You didn't, you were over at Johnny's house, and at least that's what they thought. And you were actually down at the creek, or looking for dead bodies and shit. Okay, you didn't have to lock your front door. This ain't the same world here, because of the internet, which is incredible. It's also pretty ugly, because people don't actually get to know people. Okay, you go to Walmart, your self-checkout. You're not talking to the cashier. I used to go to the grocery store and say, hey, how are you doing today? Talk about what's on sale or talk about the weather. I used to go to the bank. I used to float checks. Hey, I can write this check. It's not going to be, it's taken on my account for at least 4 days. You could, that was a thing. Okay, I'm old. But now this world of text messaging, you're dating by text messaging. You're not actually seeing the person. It's just a text message relationship. And you get all these keyboard warriors who are pasty in their basement, their mama's basement, that don't know how to interact with people. All they know is anger. And instead of having a world that's like that, I said, listen, I can't stand the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't. But I'm going to tell you, I would go to bat for Philly 500. In the same way, when they said something about Holly, those are fighting words. Somebody goes after Philly 500, those are fighting words. But there's so much hate and stuff, man, that's out there. Okay, and I don't know. Let me go through. I don't know what happened in there, if there was or wasn't. But I do know the hate that comes towards me and the stuff that's really got nothing to do with football. You understand what I'm saying? When you say that I'm sucking on Dak Prescott's dick, why? Why do you need comments like that? Or when you have personal attacks for people. And what I said was, and I didn't throw Drew under the bus, I didn't throw Game Time under the bus. I said, I want my place, my channel, to be a safe space. Because see, what happens is when you get your Frank Josephs in here that are coming in and attacking people, or you get some of these people that have no manners whatsoever that figure that they can just come in on the channel and just screw it up for everybody else. You have to understand, I will be 60 in October. Most of the people that are in here are older people. We ain't got a lot of time, and we certainly don't have time to waste with some 15-year-old, wet behind the ears idiot that thinks it's cute what he says. He's sucking on somebody's dick. Come on, don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. That is the bottom line to all that. So when I say I'm done with people that are doing stupid stuff. It's Mike Fisher's wife's birthday. What, I'm supposed to get her a birthday present, James? Okay, happy birthday to her. Okay. Sounds like a Mike Fisher problem, not a Mark Holmes problem, if you ask me. All right, so now we got that out of the way, because I got up this morning and I see Game Time, and he took offense because I said, he's like my son, and I say that because I love my son, and I think of all of these younger YouTubers as my kids, with the exception of Mike Fisher. Mike Fisher, he's like the other old guy standing on his front porch telling you to get him off the grass because he's old like me, or he's older than me. Okay? So that's my point right here. So as we get Papa Savage, happy birthday, Marcia. Okay. As we get ready to start a new season, I just want us to try and get along a little bit better. That was my whole take to this, and some people took it wrong. The other part I have to say to Momo is, as he's getting into this, with Momo's rants, what you have to understand is you're going to be called everything but a child of God. You're going to have people that are going to do crazy shit like dox you and make fake channels up and lie about you, because ultimately what they want to do is they want to see you, or they want to be able to get under your skin. Because if I get under your skin and I'm a nobody and I pissed off a guy I see on YouTube all the time, now I'm a somebody. And that's the games that get played. So all the way around, I'm just trying to say, can't we all just get along? Can't we all just get along? All right, so let's get on to training camp. Let's see, Kelly. What's up, Kelly? So tired of Big G journalism that I am blackballing ESPN and FS1. Amen on that. Because this, journalism used to be, if you were wrong about something, there was ramifications. You couldn't just make shit up. Everything now is proposed trades and conjecture of, I was seeing an article yesterday that was already saying that Javonte Williams is already a bust for the Cowboys. I'm like, we haven't even got to training camp and you're talking about him being a bust? How is that even possible? How is that possible? We haven't even got to training camp and we're already talking about guys that are busts. And these preseason polls, you can look at these and say, and even Eagle fans can look at it and say, well, George Pickens going to the Cowboys is a big offseason move. To say that it's not even part of the top 10? Seriously? And every poll out there always just says Cowboys are doo-doo. They're doo-doo. Okay? And it's kind of like, Papa Savage, I love your video last night, talking football, nothing else. All right, Papa Savage, I try. But right now, Papa don't preach. There ain't much to talk about. The Cowboys have done us a disservice by, with keeping everything calm with Micah Parsons, that he ain't holding out, that we know he's going to get his contract. Last year, every week it was, will Dak get paid? Will Dak, is Dak, it's going to be the last year for Dak Prescott. Is Dak Prescott going to go to what team, right? We had that all off season to talk about. We had CeeDee Lamb. Oh, the Cowboys, is he going to have to play on the 5th-year option? Could the Cowboys trade him? We had that to talk about, right? Then we had, of course, Jerry Jones saying we're all in and saying, what a joke. Jerry Jones said we're all in and they didn't do anything. We ain't got none of that this year. It's so dry that people are just making shit up. And the reality is the Dallas Cowboys are the driver of everything. Jeff Lee, you were our winner the other day. Miss Tracy has your shirt ready to go. I got to get yours mailed. And D. Moore's is also there, as well as Newman's family. In fact, I got to post a picture of that on the community tab. See, and what Ultra is putting on the other one is exactly the kind of shit that I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. Mark only loves Dak's crack. Seriously? I mean, I'm sorry, Ultra, that's just dumb as shit. It's just freaking ridiculous. Mark Holmes smells Dak's jockstrap. Come on, man. Seriously? That's what you got? That's what you, Ultra? Literally, that's what you're bringing to the table? Sorry. That's some stupid shit. I mean, are you 12 years old? And that's exactly the kind of shit that I talk about. Anyway, I saw something that was kind of crazy. And at first when I saw it, I thought it was a Facebook post, which we know Facebook posts about the Cowboys are always bullshit. But it was Ernie the Cowboy fan on Twitter, which, I think it might have been actually conceivably legit that the Commanders called the Cowboys about Micah Parsons for a trade with Scary Terry. When I first looked at it, I'm like, why would we trade for Scary Terry when we've got George Pickens? Why would we trade Micah Parsons for Scary Terry? And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And the next line of it was Jerry Jones cracked up and hung up the phone. And it's like, okay, this whole thing had to be made up. But Retro Game and Grub, no. Ultra is an Eagle fan in the basement. What's up, Dem Boys Kicks, man? What's going on? How are you doing tonight? My boy Mark, what's good, big dog? Jivey Nation, everything's good, man. Everything's good. I'm still alive. I've lost some weight. We've got 1 week and 2 days, and the team will be at training camp. A man doesn't talk shit about someone without asking him, Beta Mark. I don't even know what that means. What the fuck what does that mean? Ultra? Are you drinking, Ultra? Put the bottle down, bro. Put the bottle down. All right, so here we are with the Cowboys. What will make this season be good? We've all heard the talking heads basically say the Cowboys are ranked about 17th. Our running game is going to suck because they said our running backs suck. Our offensive line was terrible last year. We got questions in the secondary, and Mozzie Smith's a bust. If you look at all of those things and add it all up, it says the Cowboys should suck. That's what it says. But you know the amazing thing about football, and I'm not going to say that the Cowboys are going to be a great team. I'm not going to say that. It could happen. It very much could happen. Because this time last year, who thought that the Commanders would end up being in the NFC Championship game? When the Eagles won their first Super Bowl, I believe they were in fourth place the year before in the division. Yeah, true stories. They went from worst to first. Partially because you usually have a bad schedule, you get high draft picks, and people are overlooking you. Those things happen. Jeff Lee. With this power, Jeff Lee, use it wisely, Jeff. My name is Jeff. Every year is a new year. Because I can think about some of the worst off seasons we've had, and we ended up 12-5. Right? I have to say, I like what we've done. I think that the offensive line will be better. The thing I love more than anything else, I'm still worried about eventually the NFL will crack down on it, where Duke Merriweather is basically pounding his chest saying that, he's in contact with the Cowboys coaches and I know exactly what they want me to teach and so on. To me, it feels like the Cowboys players are already in training camp with Duke Merriweather. Every single one of the Cowboys offensive linemen have been working out together with Duke Merriweather, and Duke Merriweather is working with the Dallas Cowboys coaches. Does anybody else look and say that that's an advantage that most teams don't have? I do. I love it. I hope we can continue to get away from it. Joanne, oh my God. Oh my God. It's a big one. It's a big one. Joanne Gonzalez, where have you been, girl? She's back. Back again. We've missed you, Joanne. Oh, my goodness. It is so good to see you. Oh, wow. I'm feeling the love right now. Okay, now it's a party. The linchpin. Ruben Walls. Welcome back, Ruben, being a channel member again. The linchpin on everything for the Cowboys offense. Am I going to the game? Which game? Not the Eagles one. I ain't that rich. And if I buy a ticket, I can't buy bulletproof armor. And if I go to Philadelphia, I got to have bulletproof armor. So that one's going to cost too much. But I am going to go to a game in Dallas. Unfortunately, they always screw with me with the Washington game. It's on Christmas. Is it Christmas? Yeah. So I'm still thinking about that one. I think the Cowboys are going to surprise everybody this year. The chess pieces are falling into place nicely. You have made me a true believer. Now, listen, don't believe too much. Look, I believe NFL Network says they're going to be below 500. Vegas has 7.5 as the over and under, okay? They've told you the Cowboys stink. We got new coaches, right? A lot of new players, and we're going to be depending on Mark, go to the Cowboys and Lions game. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Although I got some Lions fans that don't like me too much anymore after I kind of showed my ass in Detroit last year. Now I forgot where I was. They basically said that the Cowboys are going to stink, but Dak Prescott's on the hot seat. We were 1-1 with Rush last year, Derek. Now, these I have to say, listening to Knucklehead over there who was talking about, the amount of talent that the Commanders have. Jalen Daniels is a good quarterback. Not going to lie. Terry McLaurin, he's a good wide receiver, but I don't know that he's great. Does anybody think that Terry McLaurin is CeeDee Lamb? And as far as Debo goes, I'm sorry, Debo still looks like he's chunky. Now, the best season Terry McLaurin has had is 1,191 yards with 5 TDs. I mean, that's good. You know, Laramie Tunsil added to their offensive line definitely, you know, is going to be good. But their defense is not. Their defensive line was rated worse than ours last year. Worse. Let me say again, worse than ours last year. And they didn't do much to upgrade it. They lost Dante Fowler, who's their best, pass rusher. He had the most sacks for them, 10.5. They lost Allen off of the defensive line. I think their Achilles heel will be their defense. And they still don't have Scary Terry a deal done. Will he be a holdout? And then you've got the effect of him not being there. I'm surprised McLaurin is still in there. Well, he was at the autograph signing show a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. And they said he was in good spirits and everything else. No problems with him. I guess he's not worried about getting the contract, but it ain't done. And he's holding out. So, if I'm saying, I think the Commanders are the most overrated team, that everybody is they're the media darling. All 4 teams in the NFC East have improved immensely. We should just enjoy the ride this year at the best position in football with luck. Amen. Shout out to Linda. Lovely Linda. You're right. And that's what I'm trying to do this season. I think the Cowboys will be better than advertised. But I'm going to, like you, I'm just going to enjoy the season. They just keep skipping over the bad defense of the Commanders when they talk about them. Yeah, they do. I'm kind of like, their defense, they better score like 30-plus points a game or they're going to be screwed. But definitely, I can't wait to enjoy this ride. And I still believe that the Eagles are going to have a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, and the Eagles start off slow. If the Cowboys somehow win that game, and here's, God, I can't believe I'm going to do this to myself. Philly 500, I think, said the Eagles are going to start off slow in that game, but then they're going to pull away. And I think he said 34-17. But here's where I think that the Cowboys have a possibility to win. On paper, there shouldn't be any chance to win. The Eagles are the better team. We know that the first couple of games of the season are like preseason because you don't have your starters playing in preseason. The Eagles pretty much are the veteran team that, just came off the Super Bowl. They're not making major changes, right? But with the Cowboys, do you know what to expect with the offense? What they're going to do? Especially now that you've got George Pickens. This is not CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown. This is George Pickens, who should be a number 1 by him damn self, who can stretch the field and catch contested balls. The best last year deep catcher with one of the best deep ball passers with Dak. Oh, and there's CeeDee Lamb too. And so when I hear people say, Cowboys, their running game stinks, they're not going to be able to run the football, you can use the passing game to set up the run. It's going to be really hard to put 8 men in the box. Derek J, he made it. Shout out to Derek J. Kelly's in the house. What's up, Kelly? If George Pickens is everything as advertised, you can't put 8 men in the box. If you got CeeDee, this is my dream situation here. CeeDee on one side, George Pickens on the other, okay? Schoonmaker has actually turned into, because it's time to shit or get off the toilet. has turned into a decent tight end, and you got Jake Ferguson healthy and like he was 2 years ago, right? And then you've got Jaden Blue in the backfield. That's 12 personnel there, guys, right? That's 12 personnel. 2 tight ends, 1 running back. And you look at this and say, what you going to do, defense? You putting 8 men in the box? Are you putting 8 men in the box? Okay. Then I'm going deep. CD and George Pickens. Because one of them going to be one-on-one. One of them going to be on one-on-one, right? I'll take those odds anytime. And if you don't, you decide to double cover CD or George, okay. So you only got 6 men in the box. Well, with 2 tight ends and 5 offensive linemen, that means I got 7. And with my running back, that's 8. I'll take those odds and just run the football. That's the dream scenario. And for the Eagles, when we start that first game, there's no film out on what Brian Schottenheimer's going to do with this offense. I don't know what they're going to do. Do you know what they're going to do? I don't know what they're going to do. They got so many different coaches from so many different teams. They got so many different ideas and stuff. It will be, And going against the Eagles, if you remember, the Green Bay game, season opener last year, that first half, they were pretty butt ugly. If you remember, usually the first couple of games of the season, the Eagles are kind of shaky. And the Eagles are probably going to look past the Cowboys because, hey, it's my party. It's my Super Bowl party. And it's just the lowly old Cowboys. That they might sleep on the Cowboys and start thinking about some of those other games coming up after it. And that's the chance that the Cowboys have to jump upon them. Do something they're not ready for. And as far as their secondary, that's where the Eagles have lost a lot in their defense. Our strength going against a whole lot of new starters. I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying. Oh, is Momo in the house? You mean I went through the whole soliloquy here about Momo and his crusty ass and everything else? No, that's not the real Philly 500. There's no check mark here. The trolls are back. Back again. He's been an offensive coordinator for 30 years. People know him, and you can act like the Cowboys came out firing the first week. Yeah, but, I've been doing woodworking for 40 years. And what I used to do 40 years ago versus what I do now are 2 totally different things. You understand? And so that's where you put out some more wrinkles. Now, you can infer a lot of things. Now, here's what I'll say. Remember, he had Mark Sanchez, as a quarterback. Butt fumble. BB has the potential to be the best center this year, or at least top 3. Well, he was rated 7th last year, so that's not a stretch there, Coyote. He ended up having a couple of times the number 1 running attack. And with Mark Sanchez, and they had a great defense too. Let's be real here. Rex Ryan had that defense for humming. But be that as it may, you still have to have some offense to go with it. And even with butt fumble, he was able to get them twice or was it 3 times, to the NFC Championship game. I'm sorry, AFC Championship game. And when he was offensive coordinator with Russell Wilson, that was back when Russell Wilson was cooking with over 4,000 yards and like 40 TDs and, top 5 running attack on top of it. So, you know what? I'm good with that. Joe DeMasi, hey, Randy M., hope you're good, my friend. Leon Banks, the Jet defense was elite, though. I said that. You said that Rex had that defense humming. But you still have to have some offense, okay? The Cowboys are going to surprise everybody this year, facts. Well, again, the linchpin to me is if Tyler Guyton takes a leap and can be a decent left tackle, I think that the center of that offensive line is going to be tough. Cooper Beebe, quietly was incredible. He is the juggernaut. And, of course, Tyler Smith, who's in a contract year, he's going to be coming for blood. And then Tyler Booker, who he ain't nobody going to beat him, even as a little kid. Ain't nobody beating me. He's going to take you out. Randy McIntyre, a.k.a. The Manster. Cowboys averaged 17 points a game last year. I see a salvage in about 27 points a game this year. What's going to be the difference of about 3 or 5 games? We've seen the Cowboys average, with just CeeDee Lamb, 29 and 30 points. So 27 is kind of conservative having George Pickens. I'm just saying. Momo, I love everyone. Everyone loves to hate me, but I love it. I would never get mad for what somebody says about negativity. Then why you call me crying about it? Man, wait a minute. Oh, what? But Momo, I'm going to rant on Momo here. You're talking out of both sides of your ass right now. You're talking out of both cheeks. Just remember, Momo, when you're on here, unfortunately, you become fair game. You become fair game that people are going to come after you. And people infer from what they see on here and think that it's real life. YouTube, it's just YouTube, people. It's just YouTube. That's all it is. I'll explain to you later. I love everybody. Okay. Ain't that the truth? No, but seriously. I remember, and I'm going to be, before I really got into YouTube, I remember, my daughter, she was one of the early people. She was in high school saying that, Dad, I'm going to move to California and be a YouTuber. I'm like, what the hell is a YouTube? You're not moving to California. And damn if she didn't. She made a career out of YouTube. But I remember looking at some comments from some trolls and haters, and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with these people? And I said, baby, how do you deal with it? She said, listen, Dad, here's what you got to understand. YouTube don't care if they love you or hate you. They only care if they're watching you. So the ones that hate you the most and comment the most and tell you how much you suck, even like Ultra over there, they're the ones that actually are making your channel grow, because the YouTube algorithms look and say, oh, they're really interacting with this. Let's share it some more. And that's the crazy thing about it. And it's hard enough to try and get traction on YouTube now with all the freaking AI bullshit that somebody can just literally go through and pump out 20 videos a day of just mindless minutia and just flood the streams. And then, of course, the Cowboys don't have any drama. So it's like, damn. So then you got to take something that Momo says, that they're going after Holly Pierce and everything else, and turn it into a video and then get more hate. You got to make up shit. And that's what they do on ESPN. Let's not forget the impact Tyler Smith is going to have. Oh, without a doubt. A bullcrap makes me mad. AI, AI is the worst. And it's like you click on it and it's like, oh, here we go. Another face. It's like I can't believe I just gave him a view. Gina Dallas Diva, what's up? Be careful out there driving. Gina, be careful out there in Cali. Linda, YouTube learned from that YouTube learned that from Jerry Jones. Good or bad, as long as it sells. You're right. That's the bottom line. Drama sells. I know I overtalk everyone. This is my release because of the death of my brother and my sister's pain she's enduring. And I feel for you, Momo. I feel for you, bro. Trust me. I know what you're going through. I've lost my brother. I lost my dad. Lost my father-in-law. And I've lost, my buddy Rashid back over here, as well as many, many others, and as we get older, as I get older, you start getting more and more of that, where you realize your own mortality because people you grew up with are passing, by left and right and things and stuff. So yeah, you start realizing. That's why That's one of the reasons why I work as hard as I do, is I feel like I've got so much unfinished business. And I don't want to leave here without doing everything that I can. I don't want to leave my wife in a bad situation where she has to worry about stuff. I also don't want to be forgotten. I clown Shannon Sharp, who I think his career is done. Remember, Shannon left and said, I'm going to concentrate on my family right now, and I'll be back when football season starts. I don't think he's going to be back. But he did say something that I will always remember, and that is, every day you're writing your eulogy. And that's the truth. And so when I do stuff like, Jeff's getting ready to get another shirt, Dee Moore's getting ready to get her shirt that she won, and Newhouse family, he's got his. We'll get those out in the mail and stuff, or I've done plaques for people, or the football racks and things like that, that when I am gone, that I hope that I'll live on through people's memory. And so that's why every day I do what I do, trying to get as much stuff done. And at the end of the night, I always tell everybody to tell the people you love how much you love them. And that's me. And that's my craziness, so to speak. And I got off football here, but, listening to Momo about, his sister doesn't have much time left here after just burying his brother 2 months ago. So, that's where I just want people to try and get along a little bit more. I want the Cowboys to win, and that, amen. And, that was one of the things I had hoped that I could enjoy a Super Bowl victory with my dad before he went. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. So, yeah. Anyway, stop this. We got training camp in 9 days. They'll be there getting tucked in Oxnard, and they'll be there for another 6 years. You're a great man, definitely will be remembered. I'm going to continue to love the ones who hate me the most. Well, Momo, word of advice, those ones that hate you the most, that tell you how much you stink and how stupid you are, bro, those are the ones that are going to make your channel grow. I'm telling you. See, here's what you have to understand. Forget about how many subscribers you have. Subscribers means nothing now on the new YouTube. It's great for, it's great because I got 100,000, I got that plaque. You know what it means? 0. Now, the way the system works, it doesn't matter if you're a big channel or a small channel. What they do is they will take your video, and the moment you publish it, they will share it to like a small group. And how that small group interacts with that video and how quickly it is how that video is going to make it. If people respond to it quickly, okay, and you have to understand there's a rating scale. If you get a view, okay, that's like bottom of the totem pole. If you get a like or a dislike, that's a little bit higher. If you get a comment, whoa, because now the person took time out to say something. That means a whole lot. If they come back and they make 2 comments, then that means it's made a reaction to it. And what YouTube says is, share that mother humper. And it doesn't matter if you've got 10 subscribers or 10 million. And when they start sharing it, that's how you get views. If YouTube doesn't recommend it and put it in people's feeds, doesn't matter how good the content is. It's all about that interaction. So people who hate you, that are sitting there having the notifications on, and they're jumping in to say you're a piece of shit, are the ones that make those videos go. So you got that free. That's true. I said that, Mark, to a while back. The haters are manure that help your channel grow. Hey, I never thought about it that way. Manure. Yeah, they're shit, all right. Why do you think Dallas is so popular? And that's it exactly. If you don't talk about the Dallas Cowboys, nobody cares. Think about this. If the Commanders were the Dallas Cowboys right now, do you know how much they would be talking about how bad their defense is? Do you know how much they would be talking about Terry McLaurin being holding out? It would be, are they trading Terry McLaurin? They haven't gotten the deal done. What's going on? What's the holdup here? It's going to mess up the system, the chemistry. That would be all day, every single day. But nobody's covering Terry McLaurin holding out. Nobody's covering and saying, Washington's defense is kind of trash. They don't have a defensive line. No, they're not. All they're talking about, the Commanders, they're full of talent. That's a great team. Look at the Cowboys can't catch them. They don't have the talent of the Commanders. The Commanders are going to be a one-hit wonder, guys. You watch. Daniels is going to take a step back. And if it's a prolonged holdout, it's going to screw that team over. You can look at it and say, Debo. But we're not talking about Debo from 21 that was a Cowboy killer. We're talking about Debo who's gone the Michael Gallup route and been going downhill the last 3 seasons. And looks like he needs to go to L.A. Weight Loss Center or something. He ain't that guy anymore. Michael Gallup, his hamstrings couldn't even get through OTAs. And Noah Brown has got some kind of a kidney injury that they still aren't talking about. But yet, everybody's pumping up, Washington, man, they got so much talent and everything else. Their defense is going to stink. Their defense is going to stink. But nobody is talking about them. Everybody's talking about how great they are. Here it is. We get George Pickens, right? We got George Pickens months ago. He's been to every OTA, every practice, and they're like, the Debo Samuels trade is a big trade. That was considered a top 10 one. George Pickens to the Cowboys, not a top 10 one. You tell me. I look at Debo and say, Debo looked like he's out of shape. Right? I look at George Pickens and say, damn, he seems to be motivated. Looks like he's ready to go. They shit on George Pickens' move. He's a distraction. He's a cancer. If Mike Tomlin makes a trade with you, you should run. Okay. All right. How about if the 49ers make a trade with you in recent history, you should run? Kind of like the Trey Lance one for us. How do we know that dumping Debo isn't the Trey Lance number 2? I agree with you, Leon. Debo's worse, man. Yeah. So think about that. You got Terry McLaurin holding out. You got Debo, who's been going downhill for 3 years and looks like chunky. Okay? You got Michael Gallup, who retired and couldn't make it through OTAs without a hamstring issue. And you got Noah Brown, who got carted off with a kidney injury. And a sorry defensive front. Okay. Did I miss anything? But they're a talented team. Mama, what's your channel? I would love to subscribe. Mama, you mean Momo. It's Momo's Rants. Drew thinks he's a dynasty. He's won 1 Super Bowl in the 2010s and 1 in the, yeah. If the Cowboys somehow, some way, find a way to win that game, opening night, I'm going to just say, you better not. You better not. Because if the Cowboys, you know what I might do? I might try and see if I can. I don't think I've done more than, I think I've live streamed 14 hours. I will try and live stream a week straight. Seriously. Now, I might be asleep. I might just be sitting here in the chair. Eagles suck. We beat the Eagles. Eagles suck. Yeah. And wait a minute, I forgot. I have a smile on my face. Eagles suck. What did I miss? Oh, okay. Eagles suck. Cowboys won. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'll be playing old Philly clips left and right. Philly 500. I might be in hiding. Oh, like I said, I would have to do something crazy. Drew, if Dallas wins, Drew will be here. I'm a grown man. Go Birds. Momo, I just subscribed. But if you don't pop up, I'm probably never going to watch it. That would be a great dream. Yeah, but it can happen. It can happen because I saw the Cowboys do that to the Super Bowl champion New York Giants. Yeah. They kicked that ass in New York. I was there. Joe Boo was there. The very first game that Joe Boo went to. Joe, some Cowboy fans have a double standard, and it's all I'm saying. Oh, okay. Drew, I'm going to try and get along with you, man. I'm going to try to get along with you. I might even try and get along with Ultra, but as long as he's saying I'm sniffing Dak's jockstrap and stuff like that, it's like, screw you. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, Mark. 9 wins tops. Well, 9 wins is a lot better than what we did last year, Bobby. But who's to say that one of those wins aren't against you? Do you think you guys are going to go 17-0? Momo, damn. You got 2 new subscribers there. Damn. See what? Look, being a whiny little bitch, Momo's getting you subscribers there, bro. You better. Mark, I'm a great guy. Why wouldn't you want to have... I'm sure if BB was somewhere else, he would thrive as well. Don't say because of being a Dallas fan. I'm sure he would. No, he's a baller. And he comes from, in talking with his dad is people, it's a family of sports. Everybody. They are literally living sports. And he is, I remember seeing him, he's always got a smile on his face. Here it was, we're in Oxnard, although the weather in Oxnard, it never gets really above 73 degrees. It's chilling. I mean, it's nice. But he's carrying, coming off the field, he's carrying shoulder pads and helmets, a couple of them, okay? And he's still got a smile on his face. Hey, I'm here at Dallas Cowboys training camp. I'm the center. Yeah. And that's the personality he has. And he loves to knock some heads. Holly, I like grape also. Vinny, what's going on, buddy? Vinny, did you get your shirt yet? Me too. Okay, so we're rolling down the home stretch here. I just hope that we get into training camp and that we just don't have any setbacks, that we have a good training camp and no injuries. We are Penn State, Randy. Joe, so what does it mean? JD5 will struggle, but BB is going to be an all-pro. Make it make sense. You're saying that Cooper Beebe can't take a step forward with Clayton Adams as the offensive coordinator, who has done wonderful things with offensive linemen? A guy who last year had 3 games that he didn't give up a single pressure out the box as a rookie, playing center for the first time. We're not saying that he can take a step forward, especially with Tyler Smith and Tyler Booker, 2 big men next to him. Seriously? I think he'll have a good season too, but I think he will take a step back. Okay, let's be real here. The schedule that the Commanders had last year was cupcake. Let's revisit this for a second here. Because going down the stretch, man, remember, they lost to Cooper Rush and almost lost the second time to us. Let's see. All right, so they lost to Tampa Bay. They beat the Giants. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Browns. That's 4 wins right there, okay? Did the Bengals have a winning record by the end of the year? Did they have a winning record? I can't remember if they did. Or if they were 8. Were they 8-9? Or were they 9-8? I can't remember. Okay. They lost to the Ravens. Okay. They beat the Carolina Panthers. Okay, so that's 5 wins against 5 teams below 500. They beat the Chicago Bears. That's 6 wins against teams that were under 500. Oh, they beat the Giants again. That's 7 wins under teams that were under 500. They lost to Pittsburgh, a team that we found a way to beat. They lost to the Eagles, and they lost to the Cowboys. We were ass. Then they beat the Tennessee Titans, another team. Didn't they have the number 1 pick? The New Orleans Saints, who at the time were ass because they were devastated by injuries 2019. They did beat the Eagles. That's the first quality win right there. They won in overtime against Atlanta. I believe Atlanta was below 500 last year too, weren't they? And they beat us. So when you look at that, there's a lot of dogs. You're set back in Jones Boys forever. Well, yeah, I am. Bobby, you know I'm stuck here. Okay, I have to stay here because this is my dad's team, and you know I got a lot of stuff from my dad that's Cowboy stuff. Now, what would I do with all that stuff if I went to another team? Hell, this poster right here with the red brick house, this was over here in this window over there. Okay, it's like it's a destiny that I am going to forever be stuck with the Cowboys. Okay, so the Bengals were winning. Okay, all right. Well, we almost beat the Bengals had it not been for that touch of the punt across the line of scrimmage. Randy, yes, we don't let our defense play well. Yeah, so my point being is, still, Derek, when you listen to that schedule, it's not like they were playing, you know, a lot of great teams. Now, they did get the win against the Eagles. What's good, Mark? Leo, what's going on, Leo? Still appreciate you bringing your boy on last week. That was the first good thing that you've ever done. And I appreciate that, man. Everybody enjoyed that. And I hope you let them know that we were very, very appreciative of that. Washington barely beat our B team in that last game. That's what I'm saying. This whole thing about how, you know, the Commanders have so much talent, I got to say pump the brakes on that one. You know, I know, Momo, that hurts. You can do a rant how Mark Holmes is just a Commanders hater and he's an idiot. Feel free to do it. And I'll come back at you and say, Momo, you and your crusty ass, shut up. All right, so with that being said, we have one more Friday night show before the Cowboys will be actually in Oxnard in training camp. I don't know about you, but I'm excited and I'm happy and I appreciate all you guys. That is good. We don't be hurt when somebody says your team sucks. Yeah, I got no problem with that. I mean, I'm used to that. I get that 50 times at least a day that the Cowboys suck. 50. No, that's 50 times a video. All righty, good people. As always, I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to turn out the lights because I'm dead tired right now. I'm tired, boss. And it's too damn hot. Peace.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.